So let's say that you are now a registered and bonded LDA. You went to register your application with the county clerk in the county where your principal place of business is located. You paid for your bond. You filed, you filled out the application. You brought your passport photos to the county clerk and you were issued an LDA ID card. Great. So now it's time to focus on running your business. What do you need to start to operate your business successfully? First, you're going to want to ask yourself a few questions. What services am I going to offer? Am I going to do virtual services? Am I going to do in-person services? Will I get a commercial lease and pay overhead expenses and AT&T? Or am I going to work from home or maybe rent a Regis location where there's a physical office to go to, but I don't have to pay all that overhead? You'll also have to think about what are the basic business essentials that you're going to need. And in addition, you'll have to consider how are you going to get the knowledge that you need in order to provide a great legal service? And finally, you'll have to consider how are you going to let people know about your business? So we'll talk about business marketing as well. You'll also want to master your craft. What I mean by that is if you decide that you want to offer trust services, for example, and you want to help people with their powers of attorney, their certificates of trust, then you want to learn everything there is to know about that subject for your knowledge, mostly. The more confident that you are in that subject area, the better you're going to be able to sell the service and to instill confidence in your customers that you're able to help them with this specific service. For example, there's other ways that you can get knowledge. Some people, they're coming from, let's say, intellectual property background, working at a law firm as a paralegal, and that's what they've done for the last 6 years. However, maybe now they've gone through a divorce and they decided that this is something that they want to do and offer for others, divorce services. They might decide that they want to work with an attorney as an LDA. Work with an attorney lets them maybe part-time and assist with form preparation for the attorney, but at the same time, learn from that office regarding the ins and outs of family law. That's a really good way to get paid to learn. Sometimes LDA pair up with mediators who are offering mediation services but need someone to do the form preparation. Some LDA businesses out there need the assistance from other LDAs to help fill out forms. There are plenty of ways to get knowledge to be able to get the confidence you need in order to offer the services you want to. Next, you'll have to think about what are the basic business essentials that you're going to need. Business essentials such as client management software in order to be able to manage who your clients are, how to get in contact with them, and how to manage their legal process and progress. Perhaps you'll need to invest in a calendaring system where people can schedule appointments directly so that you know when your clients are coming. Will you need a phone system? Will it be a landline? Will it ring to your office and you only pick up when you're there? Or are you going to have programs like Ring Central, Google Voice, or Grasshopper that will have business calls ring to your cell phone so you can pick up calls wherever you are? You also want to think about maybe having a special encrypted email because clients will be sending you files that are private in nature, such as income tax returns and pay stubs. You'll want to make sure that you're communicating with your client in a method that protects their personal information and documents. Some LDAs choose to invest in software for their own form preparation needs. There are some programs out there that allow you to type in the client's information once, but then you're able to automatically generate new documents with the prior information already auto-populated. When you're first starting out, Maybe you don't need all of this fancy software and you'll grow into it. However, you may consider joining a membership or a professional organization with like minded individuals that have already tried some of these programs and some of these services and can give you guidance regarding, based on the services you're going to offer, which essential items you will need. Another thing is that people ask me is, what's the best way to start my business? What should I do? How do I get started making money? The first thing I would say is to read Business and Professions Code Section 6400 in its entirety, from the beginning to the end. That way, you'll know what is expected of you, what rules you're supposed to abide by, and because you want to make sure that you're not breaking any rules. There are plenty of ways to get started. So whatever it is that you decide to do, what services you decide to offer, make sure you understand the process from beginning to end and you know it like the back of your hand. Know the terminology, the timelines, the things people need to know. You want to have your resources ready and have an attorney contact that you can refer potential clients to in case an attorney is needed. That's what I would recommend in these situations, especially when someone's barely starting out. You can also, like I mentioned earlier, join a professional organization where you can connect with like minded individuals that can support you throughout your journey of becoming self employed. Together, you guys can share ideas, share knowledge, share templates, and sometimes even just to have someone to go to lunch with. When you decide that you want to advertise for your business, get a Google My Business page. That's free online. Google is the best way that people start searching for LDA legal services. There's other business pages such as Facebook, Yelp, and LinkedIn where you don't have to pay to have an online presence on any of those platforms. The online presence is going to help you get your name out there. That's how people are going to find you and your services. In addition, you'll want to get some business cards to promote your services and your business. Again, because it's important, I'll mention it again. Read Business and Professions Code Section 6400 in its entirety. There's going to be some guidance regarding what specific language needs to appear on any written materials that you give clients, on any business cards, and on contracts that you must use with clients. So for example, for business cards and brochures, there's some standard language such as, I'm not an attorney, I am only able to fill out forms at your specific direction, and you have to put your LDA number and your expiration date on certain things. Some people who are working with an attorney, perhaps as a paralegal, and they decide that they want to go out on their own, but they're afraid to because they worry and they'll ask themselves, what if this doesn't work out? What if I end up embarrassed because I put my name out there and I wasn't able to do a great job? Well, one way to put your name out there is I've seen people create a fictitious business name. So instead of their real name, they're operating under a company name. For example, my name is Elizabeth Olvera. And let's say if I was still working with the law firm and I didn't necessarily want to start advertising and putting my name out there, kind of saying Elizabeth Olvera is offering divorce services, then what I would do and what I did was I went to my city clerk and I filed a fictitious business name. And now I'm doing business as Olvera and Associates. I had to publish that name in the newspaper, and the fictitious business name needs to be renewed every couple of years. But now I can go to the mountaintops and yell, Olvera and Associates is open for business. We're offering divorces, marital settlement agreements, form preparation, and court filings, etc. That would be one way where someone can start offering their company services without necessarily putting their real name on all the advertising materials. One thing to note is if you work for the city and the county of where you live, there might be a conflict of interest in terms of you working for the public during the day as a county worker and then working as a registered legal document assistant at night working with the public. Check in with your employers to make sure that there's no conflict of interest. And if there's any questions or concerns, you can always reach out to an attorney to see what applies or what your options are. And that was the How to Become a Registered Legal Document Assistant in California under Business and Professions Code Section 6400. I thank you for being on the presentation. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me at elizabeth@olveraassociates.com. Have a good day.